What's good, YouTube? Still answering questions from the comment section. Someone asked me, what's the difference between ghosting and falling back? But before I start, this video is sponsored by Aura. Listen, I meet a lot of people who are very successful. They work very long and hard to have what they've acquired. They buy nice things, they drive nice cars, they have nice homes, and they go to nice places with the lifestyle they've built for themselves, that they've earned. Money is no object to them until you suggest that they pay $10 or $20 or so to protect their bank accounts and their identity from hackers and scammers. Then all of a sudden, they want to save money. What's the logic here? They aren't normally willing to part ways with them few dollars every month, even though they are the very group that hackers and scammers are attacking and targeting. Financial defense and cybersecurity doesn't make you look good, doesn't shine, it's not fun, can't be shown off on social media. But trust me, you'll need it. Protect your bank accounts, your devices, and your credit score with $1 million worth of identity theft protection at the link below. Why work your whole life to not protect what you've acquired? Now onto this topic. So ghosting and falling back are very different things. Falling back is like when you're at work, you've done a majority of the work or the labor that was required, right? In the workflow, you've done the most of it, or you've done a good bulk of it, right? You've done your share. And so you notice your coworkers are having a much easier day. They're, much more on their phones. They're sitting down more. They're laughing more. They're joking more. They're having a good time. And you're the one sweating. So falling back, in essence, would be when you actually stop working and you allow them to take the next thing that comes in, or you allow them to start to handle the workflow, and you might go to the bathroom for a longer time than normal, or you do something strategically to make sure that they get the next workload that comes in, right? Falling back, in essence, is like that when you're dating and a person's not necessarily meeting you in the middle. They're not calling you, they're not texting you, they're not making plans, right? But they say they're interested, but their words aren't matching their actions, right? And so you need to observe them. Falling back is the act of observance, the act of taking away my energy, or at least conserving my energy in the way that a person does when they're pissed at their coworkers for not working hard, so they let other things pile up so their coworkers have to do stuff. Falling back is like that, when you just kind of observe. You go back into observance and an energy saving mode, like a battery saving mode on your phone or something. But you're still there, you're still present. You haven't necessarily abandoned ship, but you're preparing to, right? You're preparing to pull your energy back and keep it for good if necessary. That's what I would consider falling back. It's not an abandonment of what's being grown, but it definitely is a pause or a standstill in your position. Instead of walking forward, you stand in place and let them come to you. That might mean more calls, more text on their behalf, and if that doesn't happen, you don't hear from them, right? If you don't make plans, we don't go on a date. If you don't call me, you don't hear from me. If you don't text me, you don't hear from me. But if you call, I answer. If you text, I reach back out. If you ask me out, I'll go. Right, that's falling back. Falling back is like at 50%. It's half in, half out, battery saving mode. I've had enough, I'm gonna let you do some work now type of thing. In general, people fall back when they're trying to apply new standards to their relationship that maybe they didn't apply before. So when you think about falling back, think about, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, but giving that person a chance. Ghosting is like a no call, no show, or somebody just walks off the job, never to return again, or seemingly, right, until they need a new job, or until they don't have any more prospects and they pop back up randomly. You know how ghosts appear and then disappear? That's pretty much how people do in relationship too. Ghosts are people who are conflict avoidant. Most people are afraid of conflict, so they don't necessarily want to have the conversation about, either I don't like you, or I don't find you attractive, or I don't like how you move. I don't like your style. You're not my type of personality. I don't think you're smart. Whatever they might think that creates an inadequacy in their mind of you, they're not going to share that. So instead of sharing that, they just exit, right? They just disappear. Like they're here 1 minute, gone the next, just like a ghost. The funny thing about it is, just like a ghost, they reappear often. And I don't know why that is, because I would have imagined if I disrespected somebody to the degree that I did pull a no call, no show, went AWOL on them, I wouldn't feel comfortable just coming back, right? I wouldn't feel comfortable just popping back up, but that's what ghosts do. And they pop back up hoping that you're cool, you've cooled down. but usually they pop back up because they don't have any more prospects. They run out of other options, and or they're desperate for something, and so they're preparing themselves to settle for you. Never date a ghost when they come back, because when they come back, they have told themselves, if they're taking you seriously, that they're going to settle. Most of the time when a ghost comes back, they either come back to entertain themselves or to settle. People don't ghost you who take you seriously. People don't ghost you who see real potential in a relationship. People don't ghost you who respect you. People don't ghost you who have an intent to love you and who decide that you are good enough. People don't ghost you when they see real value in you. They only ghost you when they know that you're not for them and they don't want to communicate that. Right? They are conflict avoidant. But when they come back, and they always come back, ghosts be popping back up. Just like in real life, in the spiritual world, ghosts appear and then they're gone and they appear again. And it's unpredictable. But when they come back, understand that they've just come back to either entertain themselves, even though they're conflict avoidant, right? Or they've come back to settle on you. And I love and respect everybody who's trying to find love. And I know sometimes it's hard for people to find somebody who's suitable for them. And so you gotta kind of turn over every stone, sometimes twice. I get that. But when a person has met you, spent time around you, built a relationship with you, cultivated emotions with you or connection with you, and then they ghost you and then they come back, right? They've told you everything you need to know about how they see you, right? They didn't see that potential. I don't personally believe that you should really take a ghost. If a ghost comes back, you need to be a ghost. You need to disappear out of thin air, because there's no way in hell I'm going to let somebody decide, oh, I guess I'll take him. I couldn't find nothing else. I guess I just take this one. It's like being picked last for basketball or soccer or kickball in school. Y'all remember when we had to pick teams and the popular kids or the best athletes would get picked first, usually me or someone like me. And then there were other kids, especially if you were new, and like I would go to a new basketball court or a new place, and then I would get picked last because nobody knew me, right? Well, I was tall, so on basketball I would get picked, but it was another sport. They would pick me last. They don't know what I got. It feels really shitty as a child when you're trying to play kickball and you get picked last. It feels really shitty when no one seems to have faith in you or want you or desire you, when you're watching other people be desired, other people being picked, other people being loved, in this respect. It's kind of like that. And so when they come back, it's like there's literally two left. There's the kid that, clearly has two left feet and can't play kickball and is going to be the first out, the first exited from the game. And then there's you, because they don't know you. They don't know what you're capable of, and or you are the kid with the two left feet that for them is going to be exited. It's going to be the first eliminated. They've come back because they're desperate. They don't have anybody else. You got to pick one of these nerds. You got to pick one of these kids who you don't want on your team because the gym teacher's yelling at you. Pick somebody. That's what ghosts do. They come back and you end up being that kid that they didn't want to pick, but they picked up anyway. And what type of relationship can one expect from a person who didn't want them, from a person who didn't see value in them, right? Yeah, people mature, people grow, people change, but man, I don't know if I want to be that, right? And it doesn't even make you second pick, because second pick would be, I met someone, I wanted them, they didn't want me, and I met somebody else that was great, and I chose them because I lost love before, but I chose this person because I know they were great. You're not even second string. When a ghost returns, it's like I met somebody I want, or I have this idea about a woman in my mind, and then my second option didn't work out, and so I met this other girl and she wasn't even good enough, so I just left her alone and went back out there to look, and then I came back because it wasn't nothing out there. And so now you're like third string, fourth string. In sports, if I'm using that metaphorically, no one wants to be fourth string, third string. No one wants to be picked up that late in the game, getting in the game that late. And I feel like sometimes that's what ghosts are doing. And that's how people who are ghosting you are using you when they come back. It's just an act of desperation. It's a Hail Mary. It's, I won't die alone. I'm going to pick this person, or I won't be alone right now. Not for the winter, not for this season, not for Valentine's Day or whatever. And most men aren't looking for, attachments by Valentine's Day, but you get my point. When a person decides that they've had enough of alone, then they go back and pick up whoever might be available energetically, because they need somebody, because we all need love as much as, the Red Pill community and all of these different people are now pressing this idea that men don't need you, and it seems like woke advice that men don't need women and women don't need men. We're human beings, we have a need for love and affection. It's a part of our needs. We need water, we need food, and we need community. And we need interpersonal relationships. That's also a human need, and those people who don't get those go crazy. You look at the mental health homes, and there's people who didn't get community, didn't get love, didn't get support from other human beings. Ostracism is the greatest fear in the world, the greatest human fear in the world outside of death and ostracism, right? So when we start thinking about our needs, the ghost needs too. And sometimes when they return, it's just because they had no other options, and you do not want to be what a ghost settles on. So yeah, falling back is when somebody kind of plays their position and waits for you to come to them. And a lot of guys will fall back when they just really want to be chased. So you got to be careful about that. But falling back because you've probably done it before. But ghosting is a different animal, and it has a different intention. I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to feel like a bad guy. I don't want to tell you that you're inadequate because I might need to return, or I just hate feeling like I'm hurting somebody, so I don't want to see it. Right? It's almost like shooting someone with your eyes closed and running before you saw the body drop. Man, that was dark. Anyway, I think I made my point. Follow me at KidVic24 on Instagram. I'll get with y'all later. Thanks for the question. Oh, and if you're interested, check out the Generational Curse Breakers tee. The link is in the description. Also, if you need coaching, go to girltalkwithguys.com. Now, I'll get with y'all later.